Hey, what's up, everybody? BDL44 coming at you with another video. All right, so I'm going to give you a playoff thought in regards to Game 5 of the Golden State Warriors and the Denver Nuggets series. I didn't look at a whole lot in regards to this particular game. I ain't going to say I did a whole lot of homework for this matchup. I'm going by memory, and I have a lot of memory for this series because it's been a lot to talk about, and I've covered it. Um, Jordan Poole's elbow, that's a real thing. And it's not that his elbow is going to just throw him off and he's not going to be a good player. I just personally think that the Golden State Warriors are relying too much upon him to be the fresh, springy himself that he's been all series long. And what I know is Jordan Poole is as good as he looks, but he's not as strong as he needs to be to withstand all that defense that's coming his way. He's still not there. He's still a developing player, and development it ain't just about your game. It's also about your body and putting in the years of stretching and exercise and lifting and all of the nutrition. He's well on his way, but for the punishment that he's taken, getting beat up, getting knocked off screens here and there, these elbows, he's falling to the ground. He does a lot of stuff that has him driving at the basket. He's going to start picking up knick-knack injuries, and he's a very important player because of what he does stretching the floor, and because of the fact that GP2, is not necessarily a shooter. They don't use Moses Moody enough for you to trust him in these situations just yet, and so on and so forth. So they have depth. You can obviously move Wiggins there. Otto Porter Jr. has been fantastic, so you can float him around positionless. So they have their depth. But I think Jordan Poole is someone that they're relying upon to be a little too much too soon. And the only reason why I'm worried about that is because of the punishment defenses are going to be throwing at him throughout these playoffs. So I'm looking at that and I'm saying they have the depth, but it's not about that. It's about them putting the punishment on him and then throwing him out there. Like, you understand what I'm saying? I don't know. Maybe I'm just looking at this wrong. Klay Thompson's already banged up, even though he looks great. That Achilles is always going to be something that he's going to have to deal with. And as these teams start getting faster and faster, because they're going up against the Nuggets right now, the Nuggets aren't speed demons. But as they start running into teams that can move, you can start seeing the Golden State Warriors their age is going to start to show. Draymond's taking a lot of punishment as well, playing back and forth in altitude in this series, banging up against the Jokic as he is. It's early yet for him to be taking on these type of assignments. It's early yet. He's going to have to stay healthy throughout the entire playoffs because they don't have Wiseman. You understand what I'm saying? Not Moody, but the other guy, I can never think of his name, but that other forward that they have, the big that they use. Do you trust him going up against some of the better bigs going forward in the Western Conference? The Golden State Warriors have some key holes that I'm seeing that are only going to pop up if they start getting injuries. But I look at the players that they're relying upon, I'm saying, okay, he's young, he's old. It's like a lot of imbalance there. And so long as they can stay healthy, they'll be cool. But if they start plucking players from that lineup, you're going to start seeing their age show one way or another. That extreme old is going to start showing, or that extreme young is going to start showing. And I think that's going to work against them overall. But that's way out. That has literally nothing to do with this game because I think they're going to win this game. I think Golden State, obviously, you favor them to close out a team. They're back home. Steph Curry's being Steph. Even though he's shooting, he hasn't been the greatest version of himself, but he's also working back from some injuries as well. Dre has been great, doing a great good job against Jokic, and the Denver Nuggets have only but gotten so much from their others, but they got a lot in the last game, and I think that's something they can carry forward into this one. Monte Morris had a much better game. Bones Highland is continuing to play well. Aaron Gordon is having a good series. So those are things that cater themselves to the Denver Nuggets being able to play well tonight. Jokic has found his three-point shot, which I think is imperative to him being able to keep that spacing and keep that defense honest around those passers, those players that he wants to pass to. I think that putting him in a position to continue to be a threat shooting the ball ultimately will keep those passing lanes honest and open for him. So I'm looking at this game and I'm saying Denver should keep it close. It's not like I think Golden State's just going to blow Denver out tonight. Absolutely not. Denver has a lot of heart. Guys like Will Barton, he needs to show up. He has not been in this series the way that I need him to be. I don't know if Father Time's starting to catch up to him. I don't know if it's the role. Maybe it's just, you know what I'm saying? But what I think his best self is not being displayed in this series. And I think if he were at that level, you'd probably see this series continue further. Yeah, they just need more. The Denver Nuggets need a lot more scoring on the floor. I expect the Golden State Warriors to light it up. Steph Curry's going to light it up. He's going to play loose. And I hope that doesn't translate to him playing pedestrian with the basketball. Because the one thing that I always say about Steph Curry that keeps him from being the greatest point guard of his generation or whatever is decision making. And his carelessness sometimes in the most inopportune times. And so he's going to have to prove that he's going to continue to win and not put himself in positions to continue that trend. It's happened in the finals. It's happened in different moments. And I just want to see him shore that up. It's been many years of him getting away with this because the team ends up winning or situations that you don't remember that because of all the threes he hits. But there'd be times where he'd throw the ball out of bounds with like 3 minutes to go in the game or stuff like that where you're like, no, it's time for you to have poise, man. You're a super duper star. It's time to win. Less focus. It's not time to get flashy. It's not time to get cute. It's not time to get nervous. It's time to get right. And I've seen him act, I want to say funny in those circumstances at times. And I think it's been overlooked a lot. We'll see how this team responds in the playoffs. I think they're going to have some of the most imposing defense they've seen in a very long time. And I look at that Golden State Warriors team. I keep looking out because at the end of the day, I like Denver, but I don't think they have a chance in this series. It's not that they don't have the talent, because if they did, they would be fine. But it's just not healthy right now. If they had Porter out there, they'd be straight. If they had Morey out there, they'd be straight. Now, I will say this. I don't know if the Nuggets would be willing to entertain the idea of bringing Murray back if they somehow win this game, if they can extend this series. Because I know that he's been out for a very long time, and I know they probably ruled him out for the playoffs, but he's not. I can't imagine he's that far away from playing. Like, let's say if the season started a month from now, I think he plays. Which means if they were to advance, and let's say they somehow made it to the finals, I think he'll be a part of that. So what I'm saying is, does he have 50%? Does he have, and I'm not saying you throw him out there to be a starter because that's a mistake. But you don't think of him like that. You think of him as a scoring punch. You would use him like you would use Isaiah Thomas today, or like you would use Jamal Crawford. You know what I'm saying? That's the mentality. You don't throw him in to have his regular role. You just throw him in because you know he could be a microwave for 10 minutes. And if he can give them that, especially at the end of this series, it could be the difference. It could be the difference, especially if he's hitting open shots, because they're going to have to pay attention to him. You know what I mean? Even if him at half mass, he's so talented and he's so already playoff proven that he could be the best distraction for a guy like Jokic. Bones Highlands gets open shots, things of that nature. Now, you got to be careful because he's already a defensive liability. So if he's not healthy, he could be an extreme liability. But as I'm saying, if you put him in at key moments, especially moments that you can get away with when you're up, things of that nature, he can be the difference, turning a 5-point lead to a 15-point lead if he hits a couple 3-point shots, something like that. So I don't know where he's at with his health, but when you start getting desperate and thinking about your season on the line, you start looking around at players who are not available. You start looking how long they've been gone, and you just think maybe get lucky. So that's what I would be thinking as a Denver fan. I'd be praying for that if they win this game. But all in all, it's going to come down to Jokic. Jokic is great enough to blow up all thoughts of what is on paper. This man can go for 30 and 20 right now with 10 assists and then get 5 steals as well. He's one of the best players to ever play the game, and he's just getting started. So he goes, Denver goes as he goes. And I think he has a lot of fight in him, but he's up against it because Draymond is hounding him. And the Golden State Warriors are a very, very, very legendary bunch of guys. So that is why I ultimately think this is going to be a tight game tonight, but Golden State should edge it out. It's Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green in the playoffs, and they have an opportunity to move on. You're going home. I said it at the beginning of the series. as I said that the Golden State Warriors will win this thing in 5. And I've seen nothing that should change my mind as Game 5 approaches. Golden State's going to win tonight, and that's my prediction. So, Boogie Cousins is going to have something to say about that. If he can have a huge game on the glass and get some second chance points for his team, some and one, stuff like that, maybe hit a three-pointer, that could be a little bit of a difference for them. You know, he used to play for the Warriors. That's an emotional thing. So I'm looking at him tonight. I don't know what future holds for him. He's in the playoffs right now. I would have the confidence of my old self if I were him. Lay it all on the line. Your Boogie Cousins, this might be your last hurrah. Come out here and play the best basketball you can play. That's it. And I would not be against playing him and Jokic at the same time, because at the end of the day, these are two of the greatest, most cerebral centers of all time. And I know people don't look at Boogie that way, but if you go back and look at them numbers from Sacramento, you understand that that is not cap. He's very, very cerebral. There's not a whole lot he doesn't understand about a basketball floor. He's a genius at basketball. It's just injuries has messed him up. He and Jokic, in theory, if they were in their prime, probably should win the West. So, I'm not against playing them both at the same time. You have nothing to lose. Anyway, that's what I got, man. That is it. This is going to be a good day of basketball. Only 2 games on slate. Of course, I'll give you reactions to those games. Maybe a little something at halftime if I feel like it. And that's what I got, man. BDF44. Thank you all for watching.